What up, what up, what up? Hope everybody's good. It's probably been a little over a week. I want to say my episodes are typically once a week, but it's been a trying. Ouch! It's been a trying few days. I had gotten to a point personally where I didn't even enjoy my usual escapes. I was taking on random energy for absolutely no reason. Nothing like within like my love life or nothing like that. I just simply mean that, you know, entertaining some people's energy is completely unnecessary. Even when you mean well to leave them with wisdom, you know, you can mean as good as anybody else, and sometimes it just don't go down like that. It just don't go down like that. The vibes are high. Can you tell? The vibes are high. I hope everybody's doing good, man. I mean, I know at this point we're like just so far down this fucking quarantine rabbit hole. You know what I mean? And I don't even know. I want to say I called one of my homeboys, and he was just like, "Dog, you have the oddest times of calling." And it's like I had no choice but to shrug it off, because like, in all real factuality, like, who's keeping a ramification of time right now? Like, I don't know anybody that is. Like, you kind of just go to sleep when you go to sleep. And if you happen to be an essential worker, the times that you don't have to think much, you know what I'm saying? You definitely kind of zone out and go off the map for a minute, you know what I'm saying? Well, let's get started, shall we? Shall we? Let me get my notes pulled up, you know what I'm saying? We gotta do this the right way. Welcome to DTJ Rap Studios. This is your host. My name is ID, and this is IDyourself. It's more like a freestyle, Facebook-based improv podcast, kind of like vibe out session. We're just kind of like being in the Zen zone, and we're just gonna kind of talk about a few things. Basically, all this really is. Hopefully, I don't really offend anybody. If I do, please, by all means, personally contact me, and I'll explain whatever to whatever depth that you kind of maybe didn't catch at the time that I said whatever I do say. Shout out to all my influencers, the people that are in my ear, in my inbox, pushing me forward. Shout out to the people that are helping me with my film education and my financial literacy. Make sure that you're being very wise with your money. Don't just go frivolously spend your shit. Not only is money short these days, but everybody knows that. So everybody's trying to capitalize on that. Whether that be somebody that wants to create a commodity or a market for something, supply and demand kind of thing, or whether it's just somebody that wants to start something new that nobody's ever done before. Just be kind of careful, you know. Even if you're the one creating the business, you know, make sure that you're creating a business for people that need create a business for a need of the people. You know, the people need so many things right now, and people are creating content of nothing, of no real value that I feel personally, and that's just my 2 balls worth of an opinion, and I can do that. But in a general sense, though, you know, I think that there should be a real spotlight focus put on that subject matter and that concept in general. I think that we all need some cultural competent therapy, if that makes sense. You know, a lot of people don't even have the educational history of the person they don't like. You know, they're following suit with what their, you know, their elders told them, and that's all fine and dandy. You know, I listen to my parents also, but like at a certain point, you have to ask questions. If you don't ask questions, you won't get lessons, right? And it's like at a certain point, you know, I definitely encourage, you know, everybody to ask questions. It's just the way you go about it in order for you to learn from another person's demographic, standpoint, angle, and emotions. That's just a soft touch on politics, because I hate politics, to be all the way real with you. I think money is the dumbest thing in the world. I think chocolate should be used to clean tires, and I'm just awkward like that. So, whatever, right? What we got here? I wrote down on my notes here, I said, put yourself in an atmosphere that will cultivate what you truly want to do and the message that you want to say. Because if you don't, you won't thrive, and the people won't get what they need from you as far as information. Everybody has something to offer, is what I really mean here. You feel me? Now, a lot of people feel worthless, or people feel like less valued than others, or they rate themselves in like some kind of stature. And I don't know who the hell like put this memo out that told everybody who the hell's more important than the next man, but I've like almost created a reputation on loving everybody the same. So that's common sense to me, ignorance to others. It's just a sliding scale. But I just generally want to say that, you know, it shouldn't have taken a quarantine for us all to find out what we were all talented in. I've seen so many videos that I would never have came across from people that are just on Facebook, you know, uploading videos from their phone from when they recorded it with their kids or something like that. You know, maybe their kids are talented in something, and who knows, you know, and like maybe that talented video inspired them to purchase a camera and inspired them to go into film potentially. Like there's so many sprouting seeds of talent that I'm just seeing all over the board. And I hate that it had to come to a shutdown or quarantine for us to feel comfortable sharing these expressions and these talents with one another. You know, in the same ways that we don't like rubbing shoulders with the other person's ethnicity or whatever like that these days, that whole thing going on, it's like, just like that, it's like a lot of people are shy to share their talent. A lot of people don't like to say, yes, I can sing, or yes, I know how to draw, or whatnot, what have you. And so a lot of times they don't put it in the universe for it to be utilized. You know, they say you're supposed to use your friends, you're not supposed to misuse your friends. And so I feel like a lot of people could be used a lot more actively and, with a good positive forward motion if they simplistically put the notion out there that they want to try to do something professionally. I had a friend of mine that was in a professional babysitting lifestyle for like the last 15 years or something like that, yo. Like, chick had it straight figured out. Like, she was going to start her own little business and all this jazz, right? And then came to me last summer, was like, yo, I think I might go into recording artist promotions, like promoting musicians. And I was like, wow, that's a hard turn, you know what I'm saying? That's a hard left. And she was like, yeah, you know, it's something that I'd never told anybody. And I've been kind of digging deep in my crates lately, just within quarantine. And she found some hard love for music that she knew she had, but it just never sprouted like this before. And so I run into people all the time. I want to say one of my viewers right now has a boyfriend, and he can sing. And I heard him in the car. They had called me on video chat. They had called me on video chat, and they're in the car. And I was parked at the time, and I'm like listening to the person in the background, but I can't hear very well. And then within 10 minutes, that out of all irony, they pulled up next to me at the same place I was parked at, right? And at that time, it was a pretty quick in and out situation. They didn't have time to sing with me, and I invited them to come to the studio, of course, and that they can feel the vibes here and get their sense of comfortability, and maybe they'll want to sing here more than just in front of people in public. But I had never heard from this person. I want to say I maybe reached out one more time to their counterpart, and even their counterpart continued to express like, yes, we absolutely still want to get into this, and it's something that we really want to aspire to do. And so it's like the whole, you can walk the horse to the water, but you can't make the horse drink the water. So I think that you have to search yourself for what you think is necessary to put out into the universe, and it will find you. It will find you. I trust and assure yourself it will find you. Next we got like, I've learned that people are getting upset that like businesses are closing at like 6, 7 o'clock and so on and so forth. Like I don't think anybody is, I mean, not anybody. I hope that everybody is still keeping in mind that we are still in a quarantine. And a lot of these businesses are shutting down early because back when they had everybody shut down and the cops were all over the roads and, yeah, I mean, and it was all essential workers only. It's still the same shit. You just can, like, you can kind of get out and do your thing and get a few things, some odds and ends and whatnot, but don't get all crazy getting mad at people for closing their businesses early. People have to stay safe out here, and that's real, because if you're paying attention just as much as you're getting angry, then you'll see that the numbers are climbing, and you don't want to be one of those numbers, do you? So wash your hands and go home, you feel me? So my friend was like, I was out with a friend of mine. We had to stop off at the mall at a certain point. And my friend was, you ever like randomly engage a group of people in conversation while you're walking with another person in conversation, and y'all conversation just happens to collide, so on and so forth, right? So all of our conversations kind of collide, and they said something about like the way I was talking, like my accent, and I was like, oh yeah, at a certain point in my life, me and my buddies, we drove from here to Virginia, and it was like mad dudes, and we had like mad Red Bull, and it was dope, yo. And like I stayed there for like 2 years, and it was just like the best time of my life, yo. Like mad artist development, like I learned a lot. It was awesome, right? And they were like, oh yeah, we went out there to go this and that, and then like the other person chimed in and said, well, I went out there to go this and that, and I was with her, and then the other person chimed in and said their story, and then my peoples that was standing next to me, the only story they had was a really, like, not morbid per se, but a really intense, really serious per se angle and perception of a military experience that they had previously had in their life. And it was just a really unexpected left-hand turn of a story, but that's my point here. It's like, you gotta also be aware just as much of your germs and everything else, of course, and what you're going out to do and how long you're doing it. You gotta be aware of the triggers, man. Beware of triggers. Whether it's a sobriety trigger, whether it's an anger trigger, whether it's it could be just about anything. Just watch the way you word things. Watch how you speak to people. Take your time with what you're saying and mean it, because we have no time for like having to backpedal your words and revise your feelings. You feel me? I feel like text messaging created the biggest like pool of liars in the world. Like back in the day when you wrote that letter and you sent that motherfucker, you couldn't rethink it, motherfucker. Like you had to send another letter, like my bad. You feel me? Like text messaging has fucked up the whole sense of don't lie. You feel me? Because it's like a text message is like, do you want to lie today? No? How about tomorrow? Now? Or do you want to lie now? Because to be able to conjure the perfect thought to text back to somebody, it takes a lot of like premeditation. You know what I'm saying? And if you are transparent, like I hope you are, like I know I am, then it doesn't take a text message for somebody to figure out that you're just a real person. You feel me? You can just kind of walk up to a person, have a conversation, and they kind of can get it. Beware of the triggers. You feel me? Oh, this is a big one. God damn. Yeah, I did say the vibes were gonna be deep today. I had a friend of mine. Remember back when Blackberries were out? I had a Blackberry a long time ago. Pardon me. I had a Blackberry a long time ago, right? And the joint was like the little skinny pink one. And the only reason why I had it is because I broke my phone and I had an iPhone and I had never had a Blackberry, right? All this bullshit. So then my friend's like, lends me a phone or whatever. She's like, why do you need a phone anyway? I tell her what's going on. I'm down and out, you feel me? She tells me to slide through, she cooks me a hot meal. You know how that go, right? Anyway, so then I ended up, getting back on my grind, you feel me? And getting up out of her way, and she had a kid at the time, and it was just a whole thing that I needed to not be doing, because it's just like, you don't throw yourself in other people's life like that. And like I said, you have friends, and you just make sure you don't misuse them, and I used my friend for a really dire moment that I needed to use a friend for. So, and it worked out great for me, and I'm very blessed and grateful for it and humble. But anyway, past that, right? So back in the pink BlackBerry days, right? Me and this person had like not even a relationship. We just had a situation where like we were so bound, you know what I mean? Like with literature, with history, with experiences and like what do you call it? Bucket list. Like we had like the same bucket list, you know what I mean? And like we just had these vibes just crazy flowing, right? Nothing ever came of it, but I was the reason why that happened, right? So I'm thinking to myself, just like any other situation, like I could be like, all right, cool, bam, like I'm gonna go ahead and get about the situation. I'm gonna go back to my life. I'm gonna come back to the situation and be like, yo, we cool, right? Like, we cool, it's cool. And I'm pretty sure that she would have been like, I bet. But I never came back to see if it was cool, right? So like, I'm talking like over 5 years go by, right? Tripping mad long. And I want to say ran into each other on like Instagram, Facebook, some dumb shit. And it was like, it was that moment where you don't have any reason to talk about what happened 7 years ago because it was 7 fucking years ago. But like, who's gonna be the one to bring that up, right? And I want to say we decided to video chat, and we video chatted for like an hour or so. It was chill. She was handling some stuff at her house, so I let her go. It was just a real short conversation, catching up and stuff. And then eventually, beyond that, I got to a level within just interest of conversation. We have great conversation, right? I was like, yo, let's just meet and get some food. Yo, it'd be cool. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to sit, social distancing, across the table, maybe 2 different tables, whatever, right? And she explained to me that, you know, the person that came into her life right after I left her life, he had been trying to be her husband to this day, and now for the past 5 years. And she had gotten into a relationship after me, which was not this dude, right? And that didn't work out for her, right? And when that didn't work out, this guy was just chasing after her for 5 years. And she basically explained to him that the one chance he did have with her obviously didn't work out, and that's why he was chasing after her for 5 years afterwards. But she went back and finally explained to him 5 years later that the reason why it would never work out is because that one opportunity that she did give him, he didn't cherish it. You know, he didn't take it seriously emotionally. And I don't know what that means, but I know what it could mean and how bad that can make a woman feel. And when that happened, she kind of shut all of her emotions down for this person. Not know, like, you're dead to me kind of thing, but like, just, you know what I'm saying? We can't be that way like that. You know what I'm saying? And she thanked me at that point in the conversation and explained to me that even though we had something of a romantic, not intimate per se, but like somewhat of a romantic experience and bond, that we didn't tarnish it and ruin it, and it created what's called a soul tie. I don't know if you know what soul ties are, but like a soul tie is like when you have an experience with a person that's somewhat romantic, maybe just like confessional, like, you feel me? And then like, it obviously it wasn't ever supposed to go anywhere. Maybe it wasn't even a thing that you had on your mind to pursue, but it was just something that was happening in the moment and you let it ride, right? And like, a soul tie can build over time to a point where you've ever heard those couples of people that say, you know, if we're not married by the time we're 30, 40 something, we're going to get married to each other. Or the people that say, no matter who you get married to, I'm going to still be your best friend, even if they don't want me around, then they can fuck off and divorce you. You know what I'm saying? Like those ride or die or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like that kind of sense. It's like a soul tie gets stronger every time you see that person or every time you interact with that person, as long as you don't ruin the tie. Or however you guys had that great bond or wonderful experience together that you guys love to revisit ever so often, however many years apart that ends up being. So beware of the ties that you're creating with people when you're whispering those sweet nothings and you're buying these flowers and you're paying for these meals and going on these dates and courting these women. I would hope that you're being careful about your soul ties. I'm grateful to say that I don't have very many soul ties, and the few that I have, they're fucking awesome. You feel me? They're amazing soul ties. I have some of the best friends on the planet. I would do anything for those people. I love them to death, and they love me back, and that's all that matters for me. Soul ties. Don't forget your soul ties. Some people would like to probably hear from you right now. They haven't probably heard from you in a long time. And maybe you already think about them once in a while, but you wouldn't think, like, maybe I should shoot them a message. Like, maybe that would create some chaos or some turbulence. Maybe it wouldn't. Maybe they're over it like you are. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, you have to venture a little bit within yourself before you can even decide whether or not that's possible. But if you don't even give it the chance, it's like, what are we even doing, right? What are you doing? Mixed matching bra and panties. Can we talk about that? Is this cool? Is this cool for the bra and panty conversation? I would like to discuss that. There's a lot of speculation. I feel this is my opinion. I want to land this little segment of my show. My opinion. All right. In my opinion, I think that not only do bra and panty not matter, but the times that she does match her bra and panties, the pussy ain't no different, dog. Now, maybe she like pampered, you feel me? Maybe she like did some of that, smell good jazz that girls do, whatever. Cool, man. Cool. That's cool. But I don't personally think that it's a thing for people to be worried about matching bra and panties. Please, let's just throw that out the box and stop bringing that up. That needs to get out of the barbershop. That needs to get out of stand-up comedy sets. Like, leave these ladies alone. Like, as long as they look good and you enjoy them, yo. Come on, man. Fuck out of here. I think that we're just all getting a lot of COVID fatigue, is what I wrote down. And I think that within COVID fatigue, is what I would call it, there's a lot of fucking, not per se like a heinous acts or whatever, you know what I mean? But people are acting like wild, thinking things they shouldn't think about themselves and others. And this is a huge positivity podcast for the most part in general. I just throw out my random bullshit. But please make sure that within your COVID fatigue, you're not, cheating on anybody emotionally, financially. You don't want to be in that karma pool. You know what I'm saying? My happiness and my support system comes from thorough transparency. Like, there's no other way I got to this point of happiness in my life or personal, spiritual wealth. I feel rich as shit in my spirit. And I know that just means that any endeavor I encounter and or pursue will completely be accomplished. And that's a blessing for me to be able to say. You know what I mean? And so I pursue my dreams, of course, and I mush like the husky says. You feel me? But what's the next thing I got here? Okay. If a woman lets you touch her thigh on the front seat of the drive, like everybody, like if everybody is like touching on this lady, she's not yours. I think sometimes dudes feel like just because a woman has a flirtatious vibe and she's physically flirtatious, right, that does not mean she's about to fuck. Because I got some shit that I know about, and I'm like, man, a lot of these niggas are just like lost in the sauce, thinking that there's this girl that's feeling them. And you ever like I was like, you don't want to like bust people's balls, you know what I mean? Like, you don't ever want to bust nobody's balls. And so that's why a lot of times when I bring up the situations or circumstances or subjects that I bring them up with no names. I just know that a lot of people go through a lot of the same things, and so it's easier for me and it's easier for you. Yeah, that's like the same chick that calls everybody baby. You know what I mean? Like if I hear some girl that's like talking to me, getting to know me, likes me, listens to my music, interacts with me on a social media platform, and then we get to know one another, and then all of a sudden, like, I find that my pet name is everybody's pet name, then it's a complete turnoff. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand that that's a certain type of chick. You gotta watch the signs. You feel me? Because those can become your triggers when you realize a person is that way. You gotta understand that either you can engage that and ask them if they are seeing other people, or if they're interested in seeing other people, or if they're available. But you can't just assume that because she calls you a pet name, or because she lets you put your hand on her thigh or whatever like that, that you can just swipe this girl out the sky. You feel me? Because everybody's got their problems, and if you're not willing to tackle on her problems with her, then let her do her. You feel me? Don't be misconstrued. If you're not circumcised, your dick has an awning. Oh shit. That's all for that one. What else do I have here? Imperfect people should not be held to a perfect standard. Stop trying to prove yourself. That's real. I write these notes down randomly all throughout the week at a certain point in general, and I just feel like all of them can pretty much be expanded to a larger topic basis, and everybody can kind of chime in on the subject matter. But like in general, like it takes people so long to release talent that they know they have because they're trying to perfect it. Like, because you're talented, it will perfect, like the sharpening of a sword skill, the more you use it. So drop that album, drop that single, get that video, let's get it popping. Yeah, I mean, like, for real, stop sleeping on yourself. Yeah, man, for real, I feel like I'm getting old. I only feel like I'm getting old because, like, whenever I spend $25, I feel like I'm spending half of $50, and then, like, the glass is half empty all of a sudden, you feel me? So the fact that I'm about to turn 35, I'm already thinking about 60, yo. It's crazy. Time flies, yo, for real. Yeah, I don't know how old all y'all are, but if you just take your age and double it. God damn. Anyway, like, I'm pretty much just mean make sure that you're taking care of yourself. That wasn't really anything to expand on, but I was thinking about that the other day, man. I woke up in the morning and I was like, I sat up in the bed and I put my feet on the floor, and like I went to go stand up, and I stood up, and then, like, you ever stand up and then you stand up and like you gotta like stretch and shit, and all of a sudden it's like damn, and all of a sudden your body starts cracking in ways that it don't normally like pop. You know what I mean? So it's like stretching, glucosamine, Epsom salt, exercising, you know what I'm saying, back rubs if you can get one, you know. That's definitely a thing. Be the therapy for your body, you know. That's like where it starts, is for you to think like I need to go get some help with my aches and pains and so on and so forth. So do that. Oh God, this is a huge one. Yo, I need for everybody to go into the bathroom, into the sink, into the kitchen, and change the goddamn filter on the bottom of your faucet. Like, do you know how dirty that shit gets? The little fucking thing, that shit, most people don't even know it, but that shit unscrews on the bottom in your sink. And if you just change that motherfucker out and clean that little filter in there. Not that you're drinking all the sink water in the world, but it's like, it would just be like, it's what you clean your dishes with, you feel me? It's like, it's just not, I don't know. I wrote it down because I thought about it. This is what it is. Fellas, this one's for the fellas. If you are spending the evening with a lovely young lady and she has decided that it would be all right for you to lay next to her in the bedroom while you two rest for the evening in order to wake up together for another day. If this is your first night with this woman, I urge you, good, kind sir, put a pillow on your dick. Do it. Put a pillow on your dick. If you put a pillow on your dick, it ensures her your intentions are pure. She might snuggle you more. She might back up a little bit more, and eventually, just maybe, she'll reach back and just pull that pillow and throw it somewhere. But it's like, it's the gesture of gentlemanliness, you know what I'm saying? You just want them to feel as comfortable as possible. Me personally, whenever I'm invited to a young lady's environment, vibe, space in general, if things ever have escalated to that point, my initial thought and verbal statement typically is, I'd take the couch, and then if they happen to say, no, you can come to the bedroom, I'd say, all right, well, look, I'm willing to sleep on the floor next to your bed and talk to you until you go to sleep, unless you prefer specifically for me to lay and rest next to you. You feel me? You have to let them all the way feel out the water. If they can't test the water step by step, then you won't get her all the way jump in the water all the way, rather, excuse me. But it's just like, it's a sensitive dance that we tango with, you know what I'm saying? Most dudes don't know how to lead, nor let a woman lead. So keep that in mind. Pardon me. Let's see what else we got here. This is gonna sound weird. Nah, I'm not gonna say that one. I'll be all the way real with you. It's just too political, and I'm not really into politics. I'm not with the shits. Like, I do encourage everybody to vote. I have a different stance on things than some of my family members, but for all intents and purposes, I'm telling all of you, and I urge all of you to vote. It's very, very important that you check all voting polls, not just the Biden Trump stuff. Yeah, I mean, you need to check all the polls, and especially your local polls. You need to check the people that are putting notations and have influence in the ears of the people that are up in the higher rankings that can get to the president. People go viral on their phones, so you gotta think it starts on your phone. It gets to a poll. The poll gets to the whoever runs your state. Yeah, I mean, so you gotta start where you are and make sure you're not just so focused on the bigger picture, which you also should be focused on, but not so focused on the bigger picture that you don't focus on what's right in front of you, especially your loved ones. And so it's like, why would you not want the laws of your streets right in front of you where your loved ones live to be just as secure as your comfortability within whoever's president? You feel me? And that's basically all I got for politics. Besides that, fucking politicians can suck the back of my dick twice on a Tuesday, dog. I don't give a fuck about no politics, dog. Like, I learned also, this is a music notation I wrote. It says, never call them locals, you only cap them and make them seem short-sighted or whack. We are artists and visionaries and motivators and influencers. This came from a previous conversation and experience that I had with a wonderful friend of mine also. And it was just some wonderful... we just came to a wonderful agreement, basically, about that, And, it goes with the phrase that talent has no age. If you really have some natural born given ability, or you have learned to achieve that ability to that kind of level, that it's just like, muscle memory and whatnot, then there's nothing stopping you from always being a visionary and always seeing yourself in a position to help others, and always making that move to motivate people to want to do that for others as well, because that's the vibe and the energy we need circulating right now. We need the influencers and motivators to be pulling out from out the dark and you know what I'm saying, bringing to light their ideas and their innovative ways of inspiring people, I want to give a shout out to the Drake Demons record, Sosa Geek and Fabio Foreign. Fabio Foreign? I think that's how you say it. Some of my boys don't like this record, actually. For some reason, they're just not feeling Drake these days. I want to say that, sweatpants, hair tied, chilling with no makeup on was like our favorite Drake era. For me, it was. I will admit that. That was back when I was fucking with Kanye's like college dropout type stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, this Drake record sounds good to me. I fuck with it. Make sure you check that out. Drake Demons. Yeah, I read the, yeah, I'm sorry, I was want to make sure I was reading my notes right. I don't know if you guys know this, but apparently Mel Gibson says nigga more than you and me. Mel Gibson. Now, this goes like the whole, you know who you're standing next to, and you don't know how much money the next man has, and you also don't know who, what people's upbringing is or who their families are and stuff like that. So it's like you gotta fucking, like I said, man, watch the signs and the triggers, and just like I was watching a movie, and you just gotta basically talking about like crime scenes, but you just gotta watch the whole room, watch everybody. Don't be so like suspicious looking and be staring at niggas. I mean, that's gonna trigger people. But like, make sure you can count how many people are in the room. Make sure you know who had long hair and who had short hair. Make sure you know whose hands were in their pockets or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Just watch the room. Be aware. Be coherent. Be in the moment. You feel me? Because it's the people that are not just in the moment. They're just kind of wavering through the day, and they just get swept off their feet into some dangerous situation just because they weren't paying attention. So, like, just please, just maybe just that move right there. Just look over your shoulder just a little bit to make sure that nothing's going on around you. You're being spacious with people around you, and they're being spacious with you. That way, nothing's gonna happen to you, and you won't do anything to anybody. Let's see here. I want to say this is my last note, actually. Alright, yeah, this is my ending notation. And it's actually a pretty big one. I wanted to share a story with my viewers. This one's kind of, I don't know, it's a little deep. But I want to say it's come to be about 5 or 6 years now from when I had attempted to commit suicide. And at the time, it was a lot of lack of knowledge and a lot of misinterpretation of my influences. And I didn't utilize my resources. I didn't utilize my friends. At a certain point, you feel like you're gonna do more hurt than help by making people worry about you. And I learned that wasn't the case. And it's almost always the case that somebody has the energy that you're lacking to get you through a rough time. And I demand that you stay diligent in searching for the energy that will get you through whatever is happening right now. Because I found that energy. And if there's anybody out there at all that's struggling with a situation that just needs a conversation put to it, to maybe bounce your ideas off of somebody else's brain and see where that can get you, then I'd love to be a part of that. It's some of the best therapy in the world to know that somebody wants to listen to you, as opposed to waiting to find the right person to ask to speak to. So I'm here just in case. But that's pretty much all I have for today. I do have a video shoot next month on the 14th. If you go to YouTube, my name is Illdefined, ILLDEFINED. I'm going to start pre-recording these Facebook Lives for you guys so I can drop links and do that move right there like they used to always do or that they still do on YouTube all the time. So I'll have that for you guys here soon. Generally speaking, though, make sure you go and check me out on SoundCloud /illdefinedmp3. And yeah, we'll be talking soon. Please, everybody that views this, I want to express on the video now. I want to say my last live got 1,200 views in like 3 days or some shit. It overpours me with love that I only can't wait to return to you when that happens to me. I run and I scramble and I contact a bunch of influencers that already were influencing me, and I tell them like how triumphant I feel, and then we plan for the next triumphant move to help me reach out to you guys and and help you have a sense of an angle maybe that you weren't seeing from a perspective that maybe you weren't in. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, a couple other few things maybe. Sponsorships. All my locals, all my friends, all my family, if you have any businesses, my friend got me this little fish hair stick thingy. It's like I got people sending me things, just hair accessories and such, but in general, you know, if there's things that you create that you want your brand to be exploited or exalted or generally just better than a share, I would say. You know, I like going live. I feel better than just sharing stuff all day. It's not really as effective, I feel. But I'd love to help with anybody's branding. Shout out to Leah Marie and her brand. Make sure you guys look her up on my Facebook. Yeah, man. Shreds Jean Co. You know what I'm saying? That's the business right there. But yeah, man, I fuck with everybody, and I love everything that people are really trying to innovatively do. I think that it's just impertinent that we love on everybody. So if you see that you're becoming into a niche or lifestyle that's going to really benefit you, think the first thing I would urge you to think of is like, how can I now spread this wonderful positive virus, you know, that will help other people think positively of how to they can become financially more literate. They can find out how to invest in themselves and training and within whatever that you do, obviously. But just try to, you know what I'm saying, throw the rope down, you feel me? Help the next man up. Make sure you put on for your people. Take care of your parents. Love your family. Love your children. And love yourself. This is your boy ID. We are here live in DTJ Rap Studios, and this is ID Yourself. I hope you have a marvelous, stupendous, amazing, ravishing evening. But I'm gonna get out of here. Obviously, I'm tired. I'm gonna get some rest. You know, all these vibes get me tired. Like I've had this stuff on my mind all day, and I've been writing, jotting notes all week, and it's like I had to get this out of me. So I appreciate you guys for viewing. I'm gonna go ahead and clock out. Peace.